Ok, buenos días. Primero, abran sus cuadernos a la sección de notas y van a copiar estas notas a su cuaderno. Pueden apagar el video mientras están copiando. So go ahead and open your notebooks to your notas section. You're going to write this example of an O to UE verb into your notas section, and then you may start up the video again once you're finished copying this down. As you're doing that, think about how this verb almorzar, to lunch, changes, and think about how it compares to the other verbs that you have already learned. And see if you could tell me what verbs is it similar to and why is it similar to those verbs. Okay, so shut this down as you copy and then turn back on when you're ready. Okay, so you've got that copied down. And then I was asking, well, how does this compare to the verbs that you already know about? Okay, excellent. If you're saying you learned about E to IE verbs that change similarly to this, you are absolutely correct. And what you have is basically the same pattern. When I say that, you have a verb that has an O in it, and you see that that verb changes, the O changes to UE in all of the forms except for, that's right, except for the nosotros and vosotros form, right? So you'll see that all of them change from O to UE except nosotros and vosotros. And where you have seen the E to IE changes last year, it followed that exact same pattern. Also, the verb jugar follows that same pattern, right? Yo juego, tú juegas, él juega. Nosotros jugamos, vosotros jugáis, ellos juegan. Okay, so looking at these, that's the pattern, right? You know it, shouldn't take long to figure out. So, looking at the individual verbs, you know that almuerzo means I lunch. Okay? Almuerzas means you lunch. And the you we're talking about here is you to a friend. Okay? So, tu almuerzas is you lunch, my friend. Almuerza can be either he lunches, she lunches, or you lunch. Okay? Él almuerza, ella almuerza, o usted almuerza. Almorzamos is we lunch. Almorzáis is you lunch. And here we're talking to friends in Spain. Okay, so you walk in, there's a group of your friends eating. Hey, vosotros almorzáis. You lunch. And then almuerzan is they lunch or you lunch. And here we're talking to a group of people. Okay, so ellos almuerzan, if it's they is a group of boys or boys and girls. Ellas almuerzan, if it's just a group of girls. They lunch. And ustedes almuerzan, if you are talking to a group. Any group in Latin America, a group of adults in Spain. Okay, so you see the pattern. I'm going to say it, you say it. Yo almuerzo, tú almuerzas, él almuerza, ella almuerza, usted almuerza, nosotros almorzamos, vosotros almorzáis, ellos almuerzan, ustedes almuerzan. Perfecto. Okay, as you know, right, that's an example of a verb that changes O to UE. If you look at your vocabulary that you got yesterday after the quiz, you will see that on that vocabulary page, down here, that change from O to UE. Okay? Can you tell me what the first one is? What's the first verb after almorzar? Contar. Perfecto. And contar means either to count or to tell. Okay? So if I say I count, this changes O to UE. I take off the AR and I add O. So it becomes yo cuento. If it's you count, my friend, the O becomes UE. Take off the AR, add AS. How would you say it? Tú cuentas. Excelente. He counts. Change the O to UE. Take off the AR, add A. How would you say it? Él cuenta. Perfecto. We count. Change. No, you don't, do you? No. Okay? It's the nosotros and the vosotros form does not change. So all you're doing is taking off the AR, adding the AMOS. So that would be nosotros contamos. Excelente. The vosotros form, vosotros contáis. And then the ustedes form goes back to changing the O to the UE. Vosotros, I'm sorry, ustedes cuentan. Okay, try a couple other ones. Let's just do costar real quick. So, costar, well, all right, let's skip costar because costar is to cost, and you don't say I cost, you cost, they cost. That although it changes, the only one you would really use is it costs, right? Or really he or she costs. So you would say la mesa cuesta, el lápiz cuesta $5, los libros cuestan $5, and las camisas cuestan $5. So really with costar, you don't ever say I cost or you cost. So, well, you might, but rare case, right? So it's really cuesta or cuestan, singular or plural, and masculine and feminine. Okay. So let's look at devolver, which is to return something. So I return is yo devuelvo. Exactly. You return, tú devuelves. Which adds, right? This is an ER verb, so you're putting ER verb endings on it. Okay, he returns, él devuelve. Perfecto. We return, nosotros devolvemos. Perfecto. They return, I'm sorry, you all return, vosotros devolvéis. And they return, ellos devuelven. Perfecto. Okay, go ahead and look at those other verbs in your group and see if you can just kind of take turns going around and changing those other verbs. So with dormir, encontrar, poder, recordar, and volver. Okay, I'll see you at the next lesson. Adios.